Here are two other expressions with absolute value. I'm going to apply the order of operations and then the absolute value to get my answer. Absolute value acts as a grouping symbol. I need to evaluate any expressions inside of it first, but it's a particular grouping symbol because it means the distance from 0. So whenever I get my answer, I need to figure out how far is that answer from 0. I have the absolute value of the negative of 3 squared plus 2 times 4 squared. Remember, whenever there's a negative sign standing alone, it's really a negative 1 times. So I'm going to have my absolute value. I'll have 3 squared, which is 9, the negative 1 right before it, then plus 2 times 4 squared. When I look at what to do next, I know I still have a power. I'm going to do 4 squared. 4 times 4 is 16. Now I'm going to do the multiplication. Negative 1 times 9 is negative 9. And 2 times 16 is 32. I'm going to add 32 and negative 9, or 32 minus 9, and I get the absolute value of 23. The absolute value, or the distance of 23 from 0, is 23. Okay, for the second problem, I have the negative of the absolute value of negative 9 minus 3 times the quantity 5 minus 2 squared. Remember, here's a negative side standing alone, so I really have negative 1 times this value. So negative 1's on the outside. I have an absolute value symbol. When thinking about what to do next, I need to start with this inside parentheses. I'm going to go ahead and list negative 9 minus 3. For this inside parentheses, I'll do 5 minus 2 squared. I know 2 squared is 4, so I have 5 minus 4. My negative 1 is still on the outside. I have absolute value of negative 9 minus 3 times 1. Now I'm going to do multiplication. I have the absolute value of negative 3 minus 3. Minus 9 and minus 3 is negative 12. So I have minus 1 on my outside and minus 12 inside my absolute value. When I take the absolute value of negative 12, I get positive 12. The distance, or the absolute value, of negative 12 from 0 is 12. So I have negative 1 times a 12. Notice that when I take the absolute value of something, I no longer need to write the symbol absolute value. I've taken its positive distance from 0. The distance of negative 12 from 0 is 12. Then my final answer, I have negative 1 times 12, or negative 12.